Okay, so part three, we're going to put the lights and the wiring onto the bike. I've started to do it and I'll show you bits as we go along. I don't intend filming the whole thing, but as we go along I'll show you the bits as we do it. So the lights are going to go on. The next thing is to fit the switch and then run all the wires, connect the wires to the wires, and then connect the wires to the power supply, which I'll show you a little bit more about that as we go along. Okay, so join me as hopefully today we finish this off. Okay, so I've managed to fit both of these lights onto the brackets. Now the first problem I've seen is the fact that I said these move a couple of mil one way or the other. Well, they're not moving as far as I would like them to move, with them being on this bracket here, which is kind of on a 30-degree angle. If it was straight it would have been a lot easier. If it was on a different angle it might have been a bit easier, but the way it is at the moment I can't get these lights out far enough and to face forward. So issue number one, I've got them fitted. I've put a rubber sleeve underneath so that they don't mark these brackets. It'll make it easier for tightening them up. And then each of the wires coming out of the back of this, I've just fitted, it's a heat protection sleeve. So that's gone on, one on either side. I'm going to run these wires up here. I'm going to get them from there. I'm going to have to take this side panel off probably, and they're going to fit up behind there, and then they're going to run underneath the tank and along this side panel. So if you can see there, they'll come under this, out through here, underneath this panel, follow the wiring really as best as I can, and out through here, and then it's going to fit onto I have a Heeltech Thunderbox, so there are 4 outlets on each side, negative, positive. That then saves me doing any damage. That saves me doing any damage to the system, the wiring system. Okay, so I've got these fitted. I've not finished it all yet, but basically we have the lights, you can see there, 2 lights, and the wires, which are covered in a heat resistant wrap, come up side of the radiator and over the top of the radiator. Hopefully you can see it in there. It joins the other one, and then if we look from the top of the bike, which joins then, after the 2 lights are joined, we've then spliced in the switch, which I haven't fastened on yet till I'm certain that everything's right. The switch goes in after the 2 lights have joined, and then from there I've undone this panel. So this is, I've took this off, I've took this panel off and undone this. The wires then are now running from under there, following these pipes, and basically, believe it or not, I actually ran out of red wire. I thought I had enough, and I'm short about a foot. So for now I've wired up and into the Heeltech Thunderbox, which is a power distribution. So one red, one black, both of them are going to, that'll get taped up for now, and then when I go and get some more red wire, what I'll do is, like I've done in the rest of this place, when I've connected anything, I have soldered and heat shrink over the joint. So I will do the same with that, you won't notice it, and then this will all go back in there, and then the panels will go back on and we're ready for working. So what I'll do now is just show you this thing started up. So as you know, the Heeltech works where it doesn't turn the accessories on until there is plenty of power in the battery, so the engine has to be running, and when you switch the engine off, as soon as that power in the battery drops, then it realizes that and it switches off everything else. So there's no problem about leaving lights on or anything. So if you looked, I did the same with the little red lights at the back. So we'll switch this on now anyway, and we'll just see. So that's on, and start the bike. The lights are on. And then when I switch off, once the battery drops, the voltage on the battery drops any second now, the lights go off automatically. So that's it, we're done. All I've got to do now is tighten up the two lamps and tidy up the wiring, put a few cable ties in to hold the wiring in place, fasten the switch, and then the next thing you'll see is this will be on the bike, which we'll do just before we finish. We'll get it outside and we'll show you what it looks like.